kids. In 1997, the world was treated to a fourth installment of the Vacation franchise, with the Griswold family visiting beautiful Las Vegas this time around, featuring the return of Chevy Chase as the iconic Clark Griswold and Beverly D'Angelo as his doting wife Ellen. This film marks the third recasting of Griswold children, with Ethan Embry in the role of Russ and Marison Nichols as Audrey. She was 24 when they made this movie. Side note. And a Scientologist. Sorry if I'm stepping on your things, Reese. When Clark gets his big bonus, classic, he decides to treat his family to a trip to Vegas, much to the chagrin of his wife and kids. Undeterred, Clark drags his family to Vegas, but not before trying to induct Ellen into the Mile High Club on the plane. Keyword being try. Classic. His arm is blue and it's great. In Vegas, Clark goes head to head with a contemptuous blackjack dealer played by the wonderfully annoying Wallace Shawn.
Ooh, big bet for a big man.
While also reuniting with the infamous cousin Eddy, who now conveniently lives on the outskirts of town at the site of a former nuclear bomb testing range in a trailer with his white trash brood. Meanwhile, Ellen contemplates a new life with Wayne Newton, Russ becomes a high roller, and Audrey flirts with becoming a stripper. All while Clark blows the family's life savings at the table. My name is Walter Ling. On this week's episode of Film is Dead, I'm joined as always by co-hosts Reese Turner and Chris Vendito.
How could
all right? I thought I got through the thing pretty good that time. I thought that was
killer. That was killer.
This
wow.
Is my pick.
So this is Reese's pick. Yeah.
Yeah, I picked this one because
I didn't think about it at all. You thought about
Not
this.
At all.
There was no thought because we this is how this happened. We were like, you were like, what's the next movie? It's Walter's turn to pick, and I was like, I don't know. I hemmed and hawed, and I was like, how about Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas? And you're like, yeah, great. And then the next phrase out of everybody's mouth was, let's do a 3-movie Vegas theme. And then the next thing you said was mine's gonna be Vegas Vacation. And I was like, really? And Chris was like, mine's gonna be we'll announce it at the end.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? And it's the weirdest. This is the weirdest Vegas trilogy we possibly could have done.
Ever.
I will say, and I was reminded at the beginning of the movie when they were playing the credits, but also halfway through the film where my absolute favorite character of this film comes in, Joey from Philly.
Jerry Weintraub production.
Jerry Weintraub produced
a fucking legend.
A fucking legend. Produced 2/3 of the movies in the Film is Dead in Vegas trilogy.
Yeah, it's great.
What really?
He produced the next one too, and he has a cameo in it.
Oh. Yo.
Yeah, it's like Jerry went through a late 90s, early 2000s
Renaissance
Vegas run. We're on a Vegas.
You know what?
And that's what we're doing.
I don't know, Reese, and stop me if I'm stepping on your facts, but I read that Jerry was good friends with the owner of the hotel that a lot of the movie takes place in there, where they go see Siegfried and Roy in the movie.
The Mirage.
So like the owner of that hotel was like a billionaire or something who was friends with Jerry, and the reason that they shot a lot of hooked up because of Jerry's connections and shit.
You know what's funny is that in the next movie we'll talk about at the end, and we'll talk about it next week. Also happens at the Mirage, the Bellagio, and the MGM Grand.
Well,
it's it's always those Vegas, hotels.
Well, they're the prestige ones.
So Reese, why this movie though? Why this Vegas? Why this vacation?
Okay, this is what I did. This is what I did. This is because we went into Vegas, and I'm like, okay. Right away, there's 2 movies that sprung to my mind with Vegas in the title, and they're very different pictures. One was this one, and the other one was Leaving Las Vegas.
I would have loved Leaving Las Vegas.
No.
Can we do a bonus one? Can we do Leaving Las Vegas as a
second
bonus?
season? When we do
I'm leaving the heavy shit for you guys to pick. You know.
Oh man.
And then I was just like this. Okay. I remembered Vegas Vacation fondly from when I was a kid because I saw this movie when it came out in 97, I think.
Me too. Yeah. This is the thing. Yeah, me too. I was like fucking like 11 when this movie came out.
I was like the perfect age for this movie when it came out.
Yeah,
and I when I was a kid, I was like, this is the perfect comedy.
Yeah.
And as an adult,
it's fucking hilarious.
And as an adult, I'm watching it and I'm like, this is not the perfect comedy. But it's still like
I had the same feeling.
It still really had some moments. The comedy style is not really for me, but you could tell that like this was Chevy Chase really look how I can still pilot a picture, I can helm a film. It's just like, no, this is awful. Like, you did a terrible job. I'll put this forward to you guys, and let me see if you agree. The hero of this movie isn't Chevy Chase's character.
No, absolutely not.
No, the hero of the film is Ethan Embry's character.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Russ. Like, it's a coming of age.
Sorry, not Russ. Nick Papagiorgio.
From Yuma, Arizona.
Yeah, it could have almost been like if you flip it around and put it in his perspective, it's like it turns into like a teen movie, you know. And do you remember this guy from Empire Records? I don't know if you ever seen.
He's been in so much. Yeah, he was in Empire
he's
Records.
A lot. He's like I really associate him with like the late '90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, me too. Because he was in that, and he was also the lead in that movie Can't Hardly Wait, which was like all took place at a high school party. And he was also in Dutch with Ed O'Neill. He was the spoiled rich kid.
I feel like in most of the films he was in, there was a trailer that used the music of Smash Mouth.
Yeah, almost exclusively. Even in That Thing You Do.
Yeah,
he was in
Can't get enough of you, baby. Yes, it's true. Beep, 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 beep.
I love
that. Ethan Embry, by the way, last seen in an episode of The Twilight Zone in 2020. So
he still works. He still works.
Still gonna work. You think? Hey, so Ethan, let me ask you.
Let me ask you. Oh no! Why? Why would you cut Chris? What did you do?
Accident, Chris. It was an accident, Chris. Technical difficulties. You were about to shit on Ethan Embry. Yeah, Ethan Embry is a computer. He is our producer, and he just cut you, Chris. Don't talk bad on Ethan Embry. I'm so sorry. That was a mistake. Go ahead.
So, Ethan, you got cut from the stream. You dropped out of the stream. You go in to read. Do you still go in to read, or are you just giving roles?
So you're working with Chevy Chase.
You're working with Chevy. You're on set.
He's a good guy. He's a piece of shit. I heard he's a piece of shit.
So let me ask you: did you have sex with your sister on the film?
she was hot. But yeah, actually read.
Oh, by the way, this movie did not age well.
Well,
by any definition.
Okay.
With
so
the way they sex.
Just to address the Ethan Embry thing, I read an actual quote from him where he was trashing the film in general, Vegas Vacation. He said it was a bad movie, but he says he has good memories of working with fucking Chevy Chase, and that he was cool with him, and that he like gave him tips about like physical comedy and shit like that, and that he was a good guy. And I'm like, this is the one positive story I've ever read about Chevy Chase in my life. Yeah. This is like the one positive like behind the scenes story about Chevy Chase, and it's because like he wasn't like a fucking 20-year-old girl or something. You know?
Is the podium for this film Ethan Embry, Randy Quaid, and Wallace Shawn?
Wallace Shawn is amazing. Like
Wallace Shawn is pure wrestling heel in this film.
Yeah, that was a Weintraub. Okay, watching this movie, the first thing that occurred to me, like 20 minutes and half hour in, I'm like, this movie really feels like it was made by an old guy.
Yeah,
because it's a lot of it's a lot of like not even boomer jokes, but like your grandparents kind of jokes about like old notions about Las Vegas and shit, and like really kind of like. And it's PG, everything's PG, so it's all these very kind of like sort of like semi-corny bits and shit. But like the Wallace Shawn casting is amazing.
Yeah, he was fantastic in it, and you're right. Like I think this movie's very much of its time too. You know, it's like one of those.
Made in '97. It's made in '97, but it looks like you're looking at like '70s Vegas almost. Like it's
yeah. It was like I think because it might have been a conscious choice, but it might not have been. And maybe it was showing you Vegas through the eyes of a Midwesterner. You know what I mean?
I think like so, but also, I mean, let's call a spade here. Like the whole thing kind of feels like a commercial for Las Vegas. And
for the Mirage at least.
Yeah, but also for like kind of like the Vegas experience in general. Like I'm sure this movie was okay by Tourism Vegas and shit. And it's got like, and I sort of like mentioned, I don't know, to one or both of you, that there's like kind of weird sort of messages about gambling.
Message!
Well, what I like to think is this version of Las Vegas is the same. It takes place in the same universe as the Friends version of New York.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's just like a completely sanitized version.
Very sanitized. Vegas.
Yeah, there's no like. Have you guys been to Vegas before?
I was
Okay,
supposed to fucking go last year.
Yeah, I went I don't know, a while ago, and when you walk down the street, there's these dudes who slap art, and they're like, "Hey, check this out!" And then they hand you a card, and it's like an escort, but it's like almost like a baseball card for the escort, like just statistics. The only thing it doesn't have is like it's got 42 BJs, 12 HJ, you know, but like it's
I
crazy.
don't understand. I hear about this stuff, but then I hear that prostitution itself is not legal within city limits. So how does this work?
You stepped on a quote, but that's off the top of the movie. We'll get to it again later, but
Yeah.
I heard prostitution's legal there. Not within city limits, Russ.
Not within city limits, Russ. And I love like the Clark answer. That's good. So like, fucking Chevy Chase does have his moments, and like
Chevy Chase, though, at this point, just to speak to him, at this point, he's just playing Chevy Chase.
no,
right?
no, he's not. No,
He's playing.
No.
This is
No, no,
Clark
no.
Griswold. This is who
This
he's
is Clark
playing
Griswold.
consistently, minus the glasses.
Yeah.
This is the only
minus
vacation.
You don't
glasses,
think
and
he
he's a
mailed
little-
this
and
one
he's a
in
little-
compared to the other vacation?
It's a little
films?
mailed in, but here's the thing. This is okay. And here's another big takeaway for me. Like, yes, it is a little mailed in, but the whole kind of thing is mailed in. And I feel like if you look at like Christmas Vacation, the Christmas Vacation to me is like an overall like really good like comedy movie with like, you know, like a good sort of like feel good kind of like family element at its core that has goofy weird shit thrown on like that well mixed in with it. That's part of the vacation shit. The Vegas thing doesn't have that like real honestly feel good family thing to it, and it's just like zany crap. Like, so it's like, and I feel like it's just like loopy zany crap happening, and I feel that like Clark's stuff in general, Chevy Chase's stuff in general, feels less special when it's like all thrown into this like big like comedy fucking barrage. You know, like I feel his shit works well, but it works better with like when it's like fucking frame better.
Yeah, I honestly, this is it's one of those things, man. It's Chevy Chase. I think this is one of the first. This steps on one of my facts, but I'm going to do it anyway. This is the first vacation movie that John Hughes didn't have writer credit for.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which is also
based on, right?
Yeah. So do you think? I think you lost a little.
And I feel it, and I think you feel that too. You feel that.
Yeah. But they're trying to kind of recapture the energy. It's kind of like when you get a dinner, when like you have a nice meal, and then somebody makes like
Chinese meal.
Yeah, then somebody makes a microwaved dinner version of it. You know, like this is the microwave dinner of.
It has some high
franchise.
points, though.
It does,
It
absolutely.
has some high points. It has some low
Microwave
points.
dinner.
It has some low points, and I can tell you the entire Hoover Dam scene.
Oh my god! Yes, I have that in my
Terrible.
notes. I have that in my
was
notes.
Absolutely terrible.
It's like again, old guy made this movie. Hey, so you go to Vegas. What do people do when they go to Vegas? They go to the strip. They go to the strip. They see Siegfried and Roy. I don't know what else. They go to the fucking Hoover Dam or something.
Yeah,
Boom.
outside
It's
of Vegas.
It's it.
My favorite part of was the old man doing the damn joke, the damn bits. That's another that talks to Walter's point about this is an old man who
The
made
damn
this movie.
bit. Like that's such an old
damn
joke.
bit,
That's such
the
an old
damn
damn joke. The damn tour. Where's the damn tour? And like they
Are
do
there
it
any,
so
are there any
much.
damn questions?
They do it so much, and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
we get it. Damn, yeah, we get it. That's like a PG-13 swear joke. Like,
Yeah, it is.
PG.
But
No,
that's
it's a PG swear joke.
that's a grandpa joke. Forget dad joke. That's a grandpa joke.
Yeah.
The damn tour.
And but like one of those things is crazy too. Like when he swings on the power line, it's as soon as
It's
as soon as he
ridiculous.
touches the power line, he turns into crispy bacon. You know,
Yeah, you
like,
know.
none
And
of
also,
the
how
physical
about this-
comedy made sense. Nothing made
There's
sense.
also like an insane fucking continuity error where the cable falls against the fucking like wall and he's holding it, and then it cuts back to him and he's just there and there's like no cable or anything, and I'm like, where the fuck did the cable go?
Yeah,
And then
he just climbs up.
And then he climbs up like which is like I guess is a joke. That's a joke.
I find that to kind of like this is one of those things that it's like Clark talks so much shit about what he was like. Well, you know, Russ, and I think finally they let him execute on something, even though it was his idiocy that put him there. It's like holy shit, though, he's actually sure-footed like a mountain goat. That old Clark Griswold. You know, so maybe they gave him that. I
Let's
don't know.
see if
I don't know.
Let's see if I still got it.
Yeah,
It's almost
maybe.
too, but like the whole thing is almost like too absurd, and they keep trying to like they bend over backwards
Yeah.
to put Clark like even the opening like it's I like the opening where he's driving and like looking at the
That was
brochure
good.
and he's but it's like they're like, okay, so remember the opening of like of Christmas Vacation where he drives underneath the truck? Let's kind of do a reckless driving thing again, but
Yeah.
instead it's just like him almost like mowing down fucking like people and shit. And then, but the funniest part of that is the people being like, "Hi, Clark."
Hey, Mr. Griswold!
Yeah.
Just, like,
Hi,
I'm
Mr. Griswold.
Yeah, they've come to acknowledge his.
not angry at all. That kind of makes it, but like it's
I
almost
love
like,
it. That's
it's
that
almost
world
too
of those
much.
characters.
It pushes it all.
Yeah,
like,
but
too much.
that's the same thing, the same concept in the Hoover Dam thing, where they're all generally pretty calm. Even Clark is pretty calm. Like he's when he's hanging on to the electrical cord, he's like, "All right, just like gym class."
Just like in gym class.
I'm like, dude, look anywhere around you.
And then he's
the way he's climbing the ladder, it's very calm and relaxed.
rocketing towards his like sure demise when he's swinging towards the dam, and he's just like.
That was funny.
I think that's it. I think Clark Griswold and
It's
the
a
whole
terrible
Griswold.
effect. It's like a bad. It's like
Oh,
Yeah,
that's-
it's very late
it doesn't
90s.
look good. Like, but even in the by late 90s standards, like it could.
That
I don't
was
know, man.
filmed-
Go back and a
that
lot
was
of late
filmed on
90s
a-
shit is garbage.
Yeah, that was filmed on a soundstage.
100%. But like, I think
No, they
the
did
thing
film
about
at
the
Hoover Dam.
Griswold family.
They did legit film at the Hoover Dam.
Not that. Yeah. The thing about the Griswold family is like I like to think is they're like you know how the Simpsons were like an animated sitcom. You know what I mean? At first when they started, it's like the Griswolds should be animated. You know what I mean? Like it's that kind of thing.
They're
That's
live action. They're live action animation.
Yeah, and that's how it's always been. Even back to Christmas Vacation when he gets on the polished up sled,
Actually,
whips
if they
down
did
the hill.
if they did it, I would be way down with an animated vacation series that was like, you know, adult oriented, like R-rated and shit. That would be good.
Happy Arbor Day.
There's an
Rust.
idea right there. We're gonna pitch that one to HBO Max or some shit. We haven't once mentioned the director of this movie because it's completely inconsequential. Like it doesn't.
Steven
matter.
Kessler.
You
It's very clear that that Jerry gave himself a very fun scene in the middle of the movie with some other Vegas friends. Who were those guys? Do either of you know? I see them in a lot of Vegas movies.
Oh, I don't know those like the two like the
and they've been on they've been on Curb, especially the guy with the slick back hair and the
well, I
other
think
with
there's
the glasses.
you know it's the same way that there's like you see the same guys in like fucking Law and Order and Sopranos and all those New York productions. There's like, you know, stables of like actors and shit in like local like crews of actors. If you see like Montreal movies and shit, like I see like local Montreal guys and shit show, and so it's like I think it's just like a lot of these guys get cast a lot, you know.
Yeah.
It's fair. I think they're Vegas performers, though.
And by the way, like it's so weird, like the thing with the cars.
4 slot machines and I won 4 cars. You know, I put $1 in, I got a car. I put $1 in, I got a car. I put $1 in, I got a car. I put $1 in, I got a
Okay,
car.
I think I get it.
He keeps winning the cars off of like.
Put $1 in a car. Put $1
That's
in a
great.
car.
That's great.
But then it just kind of accentuates how bad Clark's look is.
Yes.
Yeah, like-
But again, it makes you pull for Russ/Nick as the hero of the film. He is going to save the day. When he wins, and they come and they ask him, Mr. Papa Giorgio, we're so impressed with your play. We want to offer you a suite, and he doesn't think anything of it. Right? He's like, yeah, let's fucking go.
Yeah, I love it.
Couldn't they have just and now think? Okay, now that we're talking about this, couldn't that have been the movie by itself? Why did they also put in this weird part where they go to play the Keno game as a last resort and they meet Sid Caesar? Okay, and finally, fucking Sid Caesar cameo, the ultimate old guy cameo. Jesus Christ, this was made by.
He was great. He was great.
Crushed it. He should have won an Oscar for this movie.
This was his last film appearance.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really poetic.
He did kill it. Actually, he did kill it in this.
It was fucking hilarious. The moment you saw him, is that your family? But
it feels like they just that kind of got.
Because this is why, Walter. Because like we forget this at heart. Like Vegas Vacation was supposed to be a National Lampoon. It's a National Lampoon's property, right? And like
there's no
not on this one, not on this one. But at heart, those are parody films.
Yeah.
So this is what it is. It's a parody. It just parodied like every kind of like, oh, look, the problem was magically solved by the, if you look at it that way as more of like this film is a parody as well, it kind of justifies the Sid Caesar moment there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How many takes do you think Sid Caesar did for that? Like,
One take
was all it needed. The director asked for 2, and that's why the director.
I love the thing. The bit when he pulls him over to whisper and shit, and he just moves such a ridiculous fucking bit. Like,
yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great, man. I really think he's in that one scene. He was amazing.
Yeah, he didn't steal the movie because Randy Quaid still existed in the movie.
I don't know. I felt there was almost too much Randy Quaid in this movie.
A lot of crazy Randy Quaid. But when they had him up at their house, quote unquote, at the nuclear bomb facility or the grounds,
that was great.
His everything Randy Quaid there was fucking perfect. I could rewatch that 1,000 times. That whole scene.
Yeah, that was great.
That's played for laughs. That's played for laughs. That whole deal where they're on the fucking the trailer outside the bomb testing thing. But that easily could have turned into like The Hills Have Eyes or some shit. Like,
yeah.
Like,
The movie could have gone in a different direction.
Really different direction, Yeah. And his daughter's a stripper. Well, so this is okay. So I don't know. I don't know if I cut somebody off here, but this is the movie for me. So the daughter Audrey, who's again, this actress is 24 years old, 24-year-old Scientologist playing. How old? And
she wasn't a Scientologist at this point, by the way.
She was. She became a Scientologist.
No, it was later in life. I read it before.
Early 90s. I read it too. I read it. Bryce.
I read it first.
How old do you?
I didn't read about this at all.
How old do you think the film suggests she is? They never actually say her age, but how old do you think?
No, they
younger than 21.
No, 21. She can't gamble. She can't gamble.
18 because of the sex stuff. 18 because they're suggesting she becomes a stripper.
No.
I'd say at least
she doesn't. But she doesn't. That's the thing.
No, I know.
In the movie, she ends up doing is being like a go-go dancer in a fucking cage and thing with like a relatively modest outfit on.
I think both kids are out of high school, but they're not 21 yet.
You think so?
Yeah. I think that's what they suggest in the film.
Like, I think Russ is maybe 18 and he might be 19, 20.
Yeah.
Just under the legal age, because like, I don't think she ever tried. I might be wrong, but I don't think I am. I don't think she ever actually tried to gamble in the movie. It was Rusty who tried to and was kind of busted.
She tried to drink, I think, at one point, but they asked. They did. They asked her for the. They asked him for the IDs, right?
But he was ordering. Yeah, Russ was ordering the drinks. You know what I mean?
But again, it's such like a weird PG way to deal with like that storyline. It's like, hey, what else we got in Vegas? Strippers. Everybody comes to Vegas for strippers. Let's do a stripper storyline. It's PG. It's PG.
So you're saying, Jerry? What do you think?
Jerry, it's PG. We're going PG with this one.
This is the pitch meeting for the movie. We're gonna step on our boy Ryan George's toes here. This is the pitch meeting for the movie. Jerry sat down. He's like, come over to the house for breakfast. We'll do a brunch. We'll talk about the movie. We'll talk about the film. Chevy will be there. It'll be great. And there was just cantaloupe and copious amounts of cocaine. That's on the table with some croissants, but a lot of coke. And Jerry did a line. And then Randy Quaid's daughter.
He's too old. I think he was too old for coke at this point.
I don't know. He's still young enough.
No, he's doing Viagra.
He's doing something. He's doing something.
Yeah, exactly. This point,
some of the decisions feel like
bumps of V.
Get up the nose. He hoovers it up his urethra.
That's Vegas, though. I think that's the nature of Vegas. I think. Like,
how about that Christy Brinkley cameo too? Though out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere? No, that's out of everywhere. She's been
because that's a callback to the she's in the earlier films. There's a sequence where
this is my naivete of the earlier films. I've only watched Christmas Vacation like 3 times.
No, it's not. It's from before those. It's from like the original Vacation. There's a scene where he's driving alongside her. It's the same kind of scene, except in this one, the reveal is she's had a baby and she's a mom, and it's like, what the fuck? Again, old guy stuff. Like, but imagine she's got a kid in the car this time. Wow!
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah. Jerry!
I like how you turned it into a Coke thing.
I love it. Yeah, that's nice.
Somebody pass me the espresso.
He's doing raw beans right off the counter. Pot of black. Put it on the counter.
I feel
Somebody get me Clooney.
I felt semi-awkward watching the Siegfried and Roy scene.
Why? Which one died? Both of them? Or?
Both of them are dead now. They're both.
I
dead
didn't
now.
feel. I didn't feel awkward. I felt like this is what I felt like.
They were eaten by a tiger, right?
No.
One was attacked by a tiger,
But he wasn't eaten by a tiger. That's not how he died. But when I was watching,
Esteban was eaten. Esteban was eaten. Siegfried was eaten.
Thanks a lot, Steve. Thanks for not picking me.
Crossover.
That was Roy yelling at the lion for not attacking him instead.
He was eaten. Is he dead?
He was eaten whole.
He was swallowed whole.
He was swallowed whole.
No, he's chewed.
Oh my god. The crossover nobody asked for.
I did. Now I'm asking for it. Make it happen. But yeah, no, like I think like if you were ever at, I think a Siegfried and Roy show, and you watched
Which, by the way, I would still
movie,
go if that was
amazing.
on today. I would go.
Oh shit! One of these guys, one of them died because of coronavirus,
Yeah, not too long ago. Yeah.
and the other one died of pancreatic cancer, like literally a couple weeks ago.
So Wayne Newton, I'm surprised. Note we haven't talked about Wayne Newton.
Let's talk about the Wayne Newton stuff.
I loved the Wayne Newton
Doctor
character
Shane.
because he's completely playing against type. You know, like I was reading about it, and like he was happily married. You know, he's doing all this, but he's acting like the womanizer. I loved his gi from when he's practicing karate. It was like the American
When
flag.
she gets to the house, oh my god, Ellen, where's your family?
Yeah, and then he changes from that into a blazer with no shirt on underneath, and it's just like
Great.
chest hair
It's
and
fucking
shit.
great.
He was so good. Where you go?
I'll
I'm gonna
tell you
make pasta.
There's very few times when Wayne Newton didn't
I'm really.
make whatever he was in better for that moment.
I'm desperately holding back on going into my full blown Wayne Newton here
Well,
because I have
No, do it, do it. You have
I got a Wayne Newton in
Do
my
it.
back pocket. I got
So
do it.
talk
I was
about
in the
baby.
donkey chain.
wait. So talk about like Walter. Sorry, Wayne. Why were you trying to get at old Ellen Griswold there? Why
And
did you
Beverly
leave her? She's
D'Angelo.
happily married.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I do 7 shows a week in Las Vegas, and you know, when I see a classy looking lady out there like Ellen, I just go gaga, you know. Donkey Shane, darling Donkey Shane, I
Now-
say thank you for meeting me again. Oh, we go on our separate ways, still the memories aid.
So,
Oh, so much power. There's so much power that he wields. The producer power. Oh man,
that made me
Wayne, how do you feel about that?
You know, I can't believe that I gave you guys this time and you kicked me off the show here. It's goddamn ridiculous.
I'm sorry, Wayne. But that's for Clark. That's for
Yeah.
Clark. Okay.
Uh,
But yeah, so
but yeah,
actually filmed-
they shot in his house, like, and
Yeah.
and he's one of these guys that had his house had a name or something.
yeah,
anybody knows the
Casa de
name of the house?
Shenandoah.
Shenandoah, that's the one.
This is where I think he like
Again, this is Jerry Weintraub hookups, 1,000%.
yeah, 1000%. But I love it. He's one of the first like I don't know, I think celebrity cameos I'm aware of that completely like he did a Neil Patrick Harris. You know what I mean? Like he played completely against type. He didn't get the same career bump after because he was already huge, but he played completely against who he is as a person.
That man's made millions in
laughs.
Vegas, though. That man's made millions in Vegas.
Oh
Is he
yeah.
still
man.
alive? Is he
Yeah.
alive or dead?
Oh
I
no,
think
don't
so.
say that. Don't say that, Walter.
Oh,
you know
no.
what happens. No.
No.
Ah!
No, he's still alive, baby. He's still kicking. He is 78 years old, baby. I hope he's still alive by the time this comes out.
You know, I'm ready to have a residency at the Sands after this whole COVID thing knocks over, and I'll see you there, and we'll be.
Enjoy
Didn't
me.
this-
Enjoy me. Enjoy me February 29th.
It's going to be a fabulous show. We're going to resurrect Siegfried and Roy, and
It kind of turned into like a Johnny Carson now.
yeah.
Yeah, a little bit Johnny.
No,
Carson.
Carson
A
is
little bit Johnny
different.
Carson.
Carson, I have a different. I also did Carson.
Oh, jeez.
It is becoming Carson though. It is becoming. Carson.
Yeah, it's slipping. It's slipping. But like overall, what I liked about the movie, it was that classic learn nothing movie. He took the lesson from Seinfeld, and Clark learns nothing.
Chris, Chris, fuck you.
All right, Jesus.
How about that? How about that? This show ain't rated PG. This show ain't PG. How about that?
All right, five facts about
Vegas Vacation. What is fake? It's the research department.
Here we go. So this is a lot of fun because we've been talking about this the whole time. So I'm just going to get this right out of the way. High Rollers, Jilly from Philly, and his friend with the glasses and dark beard. His name is Bernie Human. Also appear playing High Limit Baccarat in Ocean's 11. So that's the cameo we were talking about.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So it's his buddy.
Remember?
Bernie. Okay, next one.
I'm just setting up the parameters.
Yeah, this is one I talked about and I squashed it earlier. So this is the only film, so you know this is true, in the Vacation franchise not to have a writing credit for John Hughes, the creator.
Johnny.
Yeah. Okay.
You're still alive. You're still alive. Oh, by the way, on that topic,
not now though.
Fucking European Vacation. He wrote nothing for European Vacation. They just used some of his shit from First Vacation.
Exactly.
And that's why he got the writing credit.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
This is the first Vacation in the movies not to have National Lampoon in the main title.
Wonder why that is.
Yeah. Fact number 4.
Might be a licensing thing.
In the movie, Christy Brinkley is driving a red Ferrari convertible, and this is what's crazy with the license Nevada with Nevada license plates that said MILF, which is cool. And then number 5, Clark's nemesis, blackjack dealer Wallace Shawn, is named Marty, a reference to Marty the Moose from Wally World.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So like the madness lives on.
I think we all know which one's not true.
Which one, Chris? Which one do you think?
Number 4.
Well, 4 there's a factual error with, so I don't know if that's the false one.
That is the false one.
That's the false one, Walter.
I see.
Thanks for
it said
paying attention.
Yeah. Yeah, it said the license plates actually said Mom, I'd like to fuck. It's a whole thing. No, it said Mama.
Just his mom. It says, just mom, I think.
Mama. M-A-M-A.
I think it said DILF.
Yeah, it did actually. Yeah, it's crazy.
But it's weird. Like the timing of it doesn't make sense. And it's like literally the joke is just that, oh my God, she's got a baby. Like he wasn't gonna fuck her anyway.
But like you noticed this about
anyway.
Yeah.
But it's like what does the baby detract from this fantasy? I don't understand. Like like how does I don't know. It's weird. It's the whole the comedic conceit of that bit is weird. Like what's the joke? Explain the joke to me. Somebody explain the joke.
She's too old to be in Clark's fantasies now.
But she's
because she still is.
She's clearly not. Look at her, for Christ's sake.
I know.
The bit doesn't make sense. It's just
and she's a mom.
yeah, exactly. It's just to show, I think, the passage of time, I guess.
Sure. It's just if
you hear that, boys? You hear that? Now she's a mother.
They all can't be home runs, okay? They can't all be home runs.
Nick Papa Giorgio, again, just a perfect name.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved his first. The first ID he got was like
black dude.
Yeah, he doesn't even check though.
The guy doing the Sinatra impression, fucking doing the fake ID.
Flawless.
That's great. That was great, by the way. That little fucking Sinatra shit there, that was good.
He's a great actor. That dude. I love.
You see this guy in other stuff,
but they're like weird movies. Do you remember the movie Down Periscope?
Oh God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somehow Reese always ends up referencing this movie.
Like it's so weird. He was in Down Periscope. He plays.
We're gonna
Sonar.
do a submarine trilogy.
Yeah, he was in
Hunt for Red October down here.
He was in Reno. He's in Reno 911.
Yeah, he plays
Balls of Fury.
Yeah, he's great, man. He's a great character actor.
Fury, Vengeance, Cowboys and Aliens, 42. Rest in Peace, PD. There with Ryan Reynolds. Anything else? Ghostbusters, the remake.
He's bunch of stuff, dude. He's been in a bunch of
Yeah,
stuff.
he's been in a lot of stuff. Halloween.
That's a lot. That's a lot. All right, Chris. You got
Are
some
we doing
quotes.
quotes? Are we doing quotes? Oh, we're flying again. Hey, we're flying again.
We went heavy off the top.
Yeah, I know. We always do. Quote number 10, Reese. Let's see it.
10 quotes from this movie. Boy.
We talked about this earlier. Isn't there legal prostitution? Not within the city limits, Russ.
Not within the city limits, Russ. The matter-of-fact way he says it. He researched
he
it.
invested. Yeah, he looked into it.
Looked into
He knew. He knew right away.
Also, okay. Put a pin. Clark going to his children. Oh yeah, European. I also watch European Vacation, and now I'm thinking the two movies are mixing in my drug-addled mind. Okay, number 9, Chris.
Well, not in the army, but I have played cards with men in uniform.
And in uniform.
I loved it. Like
That's
that was
a good
when,
line.
and that was when they're walking into the show in the casino,
That's
right?
when
And Clark just right away just steals a little bit of valor. You know, I was in the military, Russ. It's like you were never in the military.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Just a
blackjack.
little valor stealing.
Such an
Well, not
insane
eliminate,
claim,
not
man.
in the army, but I played with cards with men in
In
uniform.
uniform. What the fuck?
But like what
number
uniform?
8. Number 8. It's people in Randy Quaid when we first see Randy Quaid.
This is a good line.
It's people like you that blow the family nest egg that built this town, not pretty boys
Not
like
pretty
him.
boys like
And he's referring to Wallace Shawn.
Wallace Shawn.
That's the best part.
And Wallace and Wallace gave him such stink eye when he said that too.
Yeah, it's so
pick,
good. Like
Chris. Good pick.
they were really great. That scene was great at the blackjack table. I'm sorry. When he's like this, burp, burp, and he's like, "What was that? What?" And he's like,
What'd you say?
I said
You have a Wallace Shawn quote coming up later in this, Chris?
I don't have a Wallace Shawn quote, but
"We should do a Wallace Shawn trilogy."
There's an honorable mention of, hey, I tell you what, why don't you give me half the money you were going to gamble, and then I'll just take you around back, kick you in the nuts, and we'll call it even.
I love that line, man.
that was great.
Yeah. It's so
Number
good.
7 isn't exactly a line. They're having breakfast. I think this first morning that they're there, and Russ says, "I want to gamble." And then
Russell?
Chevy Chase goes, "Russell, I never want to hear those words again. You hear? Now, excuse me a minute." And then he just goes and he just loses $50 instantly and goes back to the table.
back to the table.
All right, let's get out of here.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
That's such a good scene.
It's like
And it also just highlights
such
his
a degenerate
addiction,
gambler.
bro. Yeah, he's a degenerate.
Yeah.
Exactly. Number 6.
number 6.
You need help with the grill, Eddie? No, thanks, Clark. Don't have one. Throws the chicken on the rocks.
Yeah. But then you have, I'll get the tongues.
Yeah, because Clark is just looking at him like, what the fuck?
Tongs.
Oh, what are you gonna do? You could have
It's okay.
corrected it for me, Reese.
Number
No,
5.
I don't do that. I copy paste.
No.
Copy paste.
Number 5.
But I did like that. 1 second. I want to talk about that for a second more. that scene, when I saw that as a kid, that made me obsessed with the idea of trying to cook something on a rock.
Same.
Yeah, so much so
We
that
get an egg in the summer and cook it on the rock.
I wasted like half a dozen of my parents' eggs that summer trying to cook it on a rock like an idiot.
Yeah, it doesn't
And
get
now
that
is
hot in Canada.
Yeah, in fucking Mississauga.
Maybe Montreal,
Mississauga
maybe.
heat. That Mississauga
Number-
heat, baby.
Number
Or
5.
later on in that same scene, don't have impure thoughts about your cousin, Russ. And it's the way he's kind of gripping the beer can while he's saying it that does it for me.
Like he's talking to himself.
Yeah, it's exactly it. Number 4.
Not to cast shame on strippers or any kind of sex workers. Anyway.
No.
We here at the Film is Dead are very sex positive. Very sex
We
positive.
are.
Very sense positive.
I love this line, by the way.
I haven't seen a beat like that since someone stuck a dad down my pants and let the monkey loose.
Randy Quaid just
Randy
stealing.
Quaid. He's in here a lot. But that was just fun. It's after Wallace Shawn takes all of Chevy Chase's money, and they're just walking away, and he says it so matter-of-factly. It's really good. Number 3.
What's good? Number 3.
Heads. I'm sorry, sir. It's tails. Randy Quaid. Almost.
Yeah, I love the kid. Just a
Almost.
consolatory, almost. All right.
First of all, do you think
He's
that
the
place
worst.
really
He
exists?
actually is. No, because all those games were made up for the movie, except
They
for
were,
War.
that was a gag, right? That was
I
all.
read. I read this.
Yeah,
I read
except
this.
for
The only
War.
thing- War. They
Yeah.
do have variations of War in casinos,
Yeah,
but like the rest are clearly gag. Especially the pick the number, like you know, because
but-
like pick the number
I think
is
that-
I think the best. Pick
3, 7.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah. Yeah. I love it.
It's like why
one
would
of
you play that?
I think that was all inspired by like War had recently just been made a legit casino game in like 1994.
I see.
You know what I
Outta here.
mean?
Why do you know this?
Number 2, segways.
I'm trying to hit it. It's not changed. There, it changed.
Okay, when Sid Caesar wins,
The money is mine. I got the money. The money is mine. I got the money. It's like
It's fucking perfect, that whole scene. And then even when he dies for the second time, and this is when and then he looks up
and
he's-
doing the.
I think he said take the ticket. And then he looks up and the paramedics come and they're like, oh, it's Mr. Ellis. He was always here. You know, what do you want to give it? Just talk to someone for a couple minutes. And then number 1, right at the end, after they renew their wedding vows, and Nick Papagiorgio Russ is going, and Dad, these are my cars. See those cars? They're mine.
How
did this
get those
happen?
cars?
How? Well,
How?
4 slot machines, 4 cars. Put $1 in, I got a car. Put $1 in, I got a car. Put $1 in, I got $1. All right. And then at the end, Mr. Papagiorgio, right this way, sir. You take the Mustang.
But no, it's fucked up. The first one he wins, the little shitty white car, wasn't $1. The machine he played was a 25-cent machine.
Yeah.
So he got 4 cars for $3 and 25 cents.
Yeah, and a little continuity error there on the movie.
Amazing.
Now,
I
imagine-
love that quote.
Imagine if this movie would have been made with the edge of like the Hangover movies or something. You know,
It would have been amazing. It
Well,
would have
wasn't
been
that
amazing.
this
The
is my
same-
question before we do Marty Scorsese. I wanted to ask you boys, if we redid this movie today, who would be the Chevy Chase? Like, who would be leading the vehicle here? Who's driving the vehicle?
Well, they tried to do that, didn't they? Didn't they try to do it with Ed Helms
they did. They remade it with
as
Ed Helms.
Russ? No, but it was like a sequel kind of because
Yeah.
he was playing Rusty, right?
Yeah, it was a
He was?
sequel / soft reboot. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was playing
Um,
Rusty. The fifth Rusty.
It's crazy.
Officially the fifth Rusty.
You're talking like a straight up reboot, like you want to go reboot Vegas Vacation completely.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Chevy Chase is still alive. I really think like you can't do this while Chevy Chase is still alive. One, because you know he's great, and 2, because if they tried to do that, I think he would haunt the set and try to like actually murder someone.
I think you could do it, and this is who I'd like to see as Chevy Chase. I'd like to see John Hamm do a new vacation series.
Yeah. I would.
And have-
I could see John Hamm doing this.
Yeah,
He's too-
like
you know what? He's
What?
too like I feel like he comes with a reputation for being too much of a classy guy. You know, like
I don't know. I
Yeah.
think it would
I don't
kinda
know if
work.
you need a real life douche to play this character.
Yeah, I think
But,
it
like,
would work.
because like,
And then you get-
Chevy Chase.
Go ahead.
I'm saying Chevy Chase came into that role with all his like SNL shit and his like physical comedy stuff behind him,
Yeah.
and people kind of like knew his reputation for that, and it meshes with the idiocy of the Clark Griswold character.
Yeah.
So like, I don't
Do you know what John Hamm's doing right now?
Coke.
The DoorDash commercials.
Yeah, he's doing DoorDash commercials. Exactly. I think he'd be okay. I think the allure of the Madman days, even though that does, I think, add to it.
He's doing DoorDash commercials where he's like hyping
Yeah.
up Canada because they're a sponsor of the National Hockey League. It's really
Yeah, but
crazy.
acting like he's acting kind of like he's doing comedy bits a lot, and he in the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, he's like the cult leader.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and he's
like-
actually
I
a
think,
naturally funny guy.
yeah, I think he would work well. I think he would work
He's
really
been
well
good
as
on
a Clark.
SNL.
And then as a what's her name? What's her name? Fuck.
Jennifer Aniston could easily play
Ellen.
Beverly.
I would put Amy Poehler.
Aged out.
No, I'd put Amy Poehler because I think they have similar facial features, and if you know, like I don't know, it'd be good.
Speaking
Amy
of which,
Poehler.
by the way, I feel like it's worth stating how gorgeous Beverly D'Angelo is in this film.
Insane.
And
Yeah,
it's,
she's
like, you know, and like,
It's insane.
and she's been you know, just a wonderful part of this franchise from start to finish.
All right, my favorite part of our show now. Marty Scorsese, thank you for joining us again on Film is Dead. Loved your article about how the future of cinema and the streaming giants. Could we ask, you were offered this movie and you passed on it. Can you tell us why you passed?
You know, I always wanted to get to the National Lampoon and Vacation franchise. You know, it was always appealing to me to be part of that. You know, and to put me on touch on the franchise. You know, make it something that I could talk about. You know, show my kids. You know, something like more like a family picture or something. You know, get away from the gangster genre that I so like in the 90s. You know, but whereas I thought the should have been kind of an elevation franchise. It was nice, you know, had that sort of veneer on it, the John Hughes classic. You know, I couldn't really see how I was going to work with this sort of this Vegas material. You know, I had just done Casino, and I felt like kind of like doing those back-to-back things. Which, again, was not really what I wanted to do as much as I wanted to work with Chevy, who owed me $8,000 for the coke.
Thank you so much, Marty. We really appreciate it. Reese, I'll tell you that Marty Scorsese always gets me.
No,
Walter,
I'm happy we can get him.
I'm so
How do we
happy
keep getting
got
him? How do we keep getting him?
I don't know. We don't even have him to pay a cameo. Like,
I heard Chris is his nephew.
so that's it.
Here's a question I have about this. A couple lingering questions. When they get when Clark sees that his family's going to shit and stuff, and and Beverly D'Angelo comes out of back from Wayne Newton's place, she suddenly has this fucking like gold outfit on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she calls it. She refers to it as an after riding outfit, but it's like, when did she change into that? Why is she now wearing that? There was like no indication that there was any. I feel like there was like a deleted scene of like horse riding or something, or there was
there was a horse riding scene. It's very brief.
But she wasn't wearing. Was there? I might have.
And she's wearing like a white and red cowboy outfit, and then you get the and so it happens right after. Yeah, there was a horse riding scene though.
How about that?
And then she has the gold outfit. You know what? That bit does work. That bit does work actually. All right, I take it back. I'm sorry.
All right, well, scratch that. Yeah,
that segment's called Walter Wasn't Paying Attention.
She's done some shitty direct-to-DVD movies. And last question for you both: which of the cars would you rather have? Of the 4 cars available, which would you take?
For the drive back to Chicago, I'm assuming.
Then to keep.
I'm taking that Dodge Viper.
What are the cars again? There's a Dodge Viper.
Dodge Viper, a Ford Escort sedan for some reason, a Ford Mustang, and then a Humvee.
A Humvee, yeah. I'm taking the Viper too.
I'll take this.
I'm taking the Viper.
You're just
taking
the sensible sedan.
No, Mustang.
No, Mustang. He's taking the Stang.
I thought you said
Stang.
I thought you said I'm taking
the Stang.
The Stang.
No, the Stang.
You know, Walker, big car guy.
Yeah, the Stang.
What's the horsepower on this one, boys?
Better than 5. So, what are your final thoughts on this one, guys? What did you guys think? It was my pick. I still know what I enjoyed it on the rewatch. You watch it stoned. It's not the best vacation movie. It's not the best movie about Las Vegas. But like, if you have an hour and a half and it's on, would you watch?
Yeah,
would you watch it?
No.
I'd watch it.
This is one of those movies where, for me, if I rented it this time to watch it for this, but if it's on TV, like I'm skipping through channels, I see it. Unless it's the Hoover Dam scene, I'm sticking around.
Yeah, this conversation has actually made me appreciate the movie more. Like,
it's still fun. It's still a fun.
I think a lot of my issues was that it wasn't Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
All right. So what's next week? Next week's episode. What do we got?
It's the third part of the Vegas trilogy, baby.
Yeah.
And if you haven't figured it out by now, we've dropped multiple hints. Reese even said it at one point.
No one would have figured it out. You really
I don't think
need
I
to be
said
paying attention to figure it out.
You said Ocean's 11.
I don't know if I don't know. Oh, I didn't say. You just did. You said it, Chris.
You just did. There's the reveal. Sweet reveal.
Yeah, we do the reveal at the end. What are we, assholes? We gotta make these guys watch the movie for next week. George Clooney, Brad
I can't
Pitt,
believe I
Matt
have to watch
Damon.
Ocean's 11.
It's a fun movie.
No, but it just feels weird that I have to go out of my way to watch Ocean's 11. Like, I mean, I'm
You
sure I'm gonna
you are
enjoy
doing
it.
you're
sure I'm
doing a
gonna
movie
enjoy it.
podcast.
I'm sure I'm gonna enjoy it. I remember liking it like the first time around, but like not more so than like I don't remember thinking, man, I'm gonna fucking want to watch this so many fucking times. You know, like, but I'm
Okay,
but
and we'll talk about it next week, boys.
film is dead.